Hello, welcome back everyone. Love is in the air, or perhaps not. I don't know. What your feelings about Valentine's Day, Emma?
Jill, I've been known to be the Scrooge of the podcast, and now
Grinch
I'm going to
of the
be
podcast.
the one that hates love and emotion.
Right.
Valentine's Day
You
doesn't
just
exist.
think it's commercial and just another way for us to spend money and all of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever had a non? I'm doing a quotation marks here. A non-Valentine's gift that you've really liked. A love gift. A gift for no reason.
Yeah, I guess so.
What's been your favourite one?
Oh, I don't know. You put me on the spot.
Do you want me to tell you what my favourite Valentine's gift was?
Go on.
It was a long time ago when I was at drama school. I got given a Kinder Egg. And when I opened the Kinder Egg and opened up the little plastic thing inside for my toy, there was a necklace in there. So he'd melted the Kinder Egg really carefully, pulled it apart, put the necklace in there, and then pushed it back together and put the tinfoil back on perfectly. And I just thought that was just the sweetest thing I'd ever had. You see, so it doesn't take a lot for me. It's just, I just love the idea when people are a bit creative or they just take you by surprise. I just thought that was really lovely.
That is thoughtful. Did you get anything? Did you
in return?
Yeah.
I don't remember that part of the story.
Oh. Oops. I may have forgot. So you're a liker of Valentine's Day?
I don't mind it. I know people really, really have a problem with it, and what's the point? And it's just another way to spend money, and you should love each other every day of the year. And I don't know, there's a part of me that's just like, who cares? It doesn't matter. If you want to go out and celebrate it, do it. If you don't, you don't. Like, to me, it's just not, I don't get angry with it, put it that way. And I will say this because people might say, yeah, but it's all right when you're in a relationship. I actually didn't get angry with it when I was single either.
Okay.
I might have felt envious if I saw people just wandering around, and particularly on Valentine's Day, or having a meal together, or just having a little smooch or something. But I didn't get angry with it.
Okay. I don't get angry with it. I just think,
yeah,
doesn't need to happen.
Eye roll.
Yeah.
Well, what would you have instead? Just nothing. Just a no.
Again, you should love me every day, not just specifically on.
So, what do you think about like Mother's Day and Father's Day? Like, do you just think they're rubbish as well? Like, do you think that's just pointless?
Yeah.
Right.
So
we've got Christmas is gone.
Sorry, everyone.
We've got rid of Mother's and Father's Day. We've got rid of Valentine's Day. Do you like your birthday?
Oh yeah, it's all about me.
Oh right, okay. She loves her birthday. Okay. Right,
Yeah.
I'm getting the picture now.
Mm. So for you, Valentine's Day, you like it when you're not with somebody. You like it when you are with somebody. Would you care if somebody didn't like it? As in me, say I was your partner. Would you be like, oh, come on, get in the spirit of things? Or if your partner didn't like it, would you go, oh?
Yeah, I would think they were a bit miserable.
Okay.
In fact, I was with somebody once, and I had, honestly, I mean, it wasn't a big deal, but it did bother me. I bought them a present and a card, and again, it was more like just a little something, just something, to make them smile. And we were away together in a hotel that weekend. So that in itself was lovely. And I saw him go into the hotel bathroom and write my card.
Oh.
And then he came out and he was like, because he's seen me put his card on the bed. So I know this is ridiculous because he'd obviously bought me the card and we were away together. But I don't know. It's the last minute sort of afterthought feeling that I don't like. It's like nothing has to be big or flamboyant for me. I think it's just a thoughtfulness. It's just somebody making you feel like they've thought about something you might like.
So if they didn't get you anything, but they maybe give you a card and took you out for a meal, you wouldn't be bothered?
Not bothered at all. Not bothered at all. I don't need big gifts at all. But I like them.
We all like them,
To be fair, I'll be honest with you. I've never really had a relationship or a partner that, did that. You know how you've got some friends and they just have partners and they're constantly buying them like really quite luxurious, flamboyant things. And it's lovely, but I'm not complaining. Honestly, I'm not. I've just never had that, So it's like, it's always amazing to me when people are like, yeah, he got me a Prada bag. And yeah, mind you, I am being taken away to Paris. Yeah, but it's not actually, it's not like a Valentine's thing. It's just something we're doing. So you would like that, wouldn't you? Because then it just doesn't have a label on it.
Yes.
You see, I'm just going to Paris.
Well, funny enough, I'm going to Oslo.
Oh, well, there you go. You see, so we are
Doesn't
basically, we're doing things in disguise.
Yeah. Nothing to see, nothing lovey-dovey
No,
here.
not me.
No.
God, I'm too cool for that.
Never that. And how do you approach Valentine's Day with like the loss of Matt and stuff?
So that's interesting. And I think that because I don't have a huge attachment to Valentine's Day in that way, like I say, I can take it or leave it. I don't necessarily then see that day as like a huge day to think about sort of the loss of Matt, because it would probably be more his birthday, where I would kind of think he should be here and it should be his birthday and we should be celebrating his birthday. The Valentine's Day thing, I probably don't have as much attachment in that way. But I know lots of people do. And I just think it is always really interesting with any holidays at all, how we all have such different relationships with them. And, a lot of it's to do with our upbringing and our past and things that have happened. Some people have had such terrible experiences on Valentine's Day that they would never want to see Valentine's Day again if they could. And other people had some of the happiest days of their lives. Let's face it, when you go on social media, there's going to be a lot of proposals.
There is.
Yeah, I know.
But how would you feel if you got proposed to on Valentine's Day?
I know this sounds awful, but I would just think that was just so unoriginal.
Just get up, please.
I would just be like, not to do. Just do it tomorrow instead.
Well,
yeah, I just think it's a bit unoriginal. I just think, like you say, there's just tons, and that's so judgmental of me. I just think proposals are so much better when they take you by surprise. So do it on a Wednesday. Do it on a moody, rainy Wednesday when nothing's happening. And you're like, well, this day just turned around. This is amazing. Whereas I do think, especially in films, you see a lot of men and women, thinking that today's going to be the day. It's a special day, or he's taking me away for the weekend, or we're going to a hotel. And there's like a build up. Whereas I think you should always take the person by surprise.
Just saying, Paris. Jill, you never know.
No, we're going to see Matt actually.
All right. Oh, yeah.
The artist, yeah. Yeah, so.
Enjoy, and hopefully
Thank you.
Intervals down on one. No. Get up. Right, let's get into the podcast, shall we?
Dear Jill, I'm getting married to the love of my life in September. Only one thing is getting in the way of the happiest day of my life. Football. My dad is a die-hard Newcastle United fan, whilst my soon-to-be father-in-law worships Sunderland AFC, and they never see eye to eye. Please help a gal out so there's no football feuds down the wedding aisle.
Well, first of all, congratulations. That's amazing. You're getting married to the love of your life. Listen, sports, passion, it's unparalleled. I actually don't think you can do much about it. I think that if somebody loves their team and it's part of their life, it's what they do, it's a way that men connect. It's a way that it's kind of their communion. They come together, they eat, they watch, they drink, they chat. I think it's part of the culture. I really do. So obviously, going forward, if there's something really important or there's something special you want to do, you don't want to have it revolve around like the football schedule, because let's face it, football never stops. I mean, people say there's seasons, but as far as I'm aware, it's just ongoing.
Yeah.
There's just always something, isn't there? But other than that, I think if it's someone's passion, You just gotta leave it well alone and just and find your own passion as well. Because actually moving forward in a marriage, I think that's really, really important to both have things that mean something to you. And as long as you compromise and don't let them get in the way of the important stuff, then it should be all good. But good luck with the wedding. Send us a picture.
It's like Montagues and Capulets there, like with Sunderland and
Oh, I
Newcastle.
know.
Imagine.
I know. And you know what? Because I'm not a sort of footy fan necessarily, I look, I get sort of rivalry in the sense that it's a bit of fun. I genuinely don't get why a Newcastle supporter hates a Sunderland supporter. And my brother-in-law will say, well, you're mad not to understand that. And we have conversations about it quite a lot. But I'm like, but do you really not like them? He's like, aye. And I'm like, but it's just it's just someone to support, like they're a good person. No. And I suppose it's just, it's an identity and it's something that people, they just feel very, very strongly about. But I don't mind any of that. I don't mind the rivalry as long as it stays fun and it doesn't get serious and violent. That's my thing where I go, no, cross the line. Not interested now.
So not a Newcastle fan.
I've been to a couple of Newcastle matches. In fact, the first time I went to a Newcastle match, I went with Ant and Dec.
No way.
So this was like before it was really hard to get a season ticket. This was when you could actually turn up on the day and just buy a ticket and walk through the turnstile. Believe it or not, there was a time where those matches weren't as well attended as they are now. So, we were like, I don't know, I want to say like 16, 17. And we were like, should we go to the match? And we all went and it was really good fun. And the match itself, I remember there was a few lulls in the game where nothing much was happening. And I was stood there and in my head, I seem to remember like Ant was on one side and Dec was on the other. And we were just sort of like minding our own business, watching the match. And then all we heard was, Biker, Grove. Biker Grove, and the stadium or wherever the word had obviously got around, and they started sort of singing at us, and I thought it was funny, but I think they were really embarrassed, bless them, because they're like football fans and they're like serious about it, but. That was my experience of going to the match.
Wow, were you in the posh end or were you just
No, I seem to remember it was just standing.
Okay.
Just, yeah. In fact, I don't think the stadium was as it is now at all. It was literally, like I say, you walk through these little turnstiles. I don't think anything was particularly electronic even, It was like really, really kind of like old school. But it was a good atmosphere. And I can, like you say, I can see why culturally it's something that people do and look forward to, and all their mates go. It's the way you see your friends.
You can, the offside rule, obviously, and all the players there.
Yeah, of course. What's the offside rule? I don't know.
Moving on.
Dear Jill, I have a Valentine's Day related problem in that it's my partner's 40th birthday on Valentine's Day baby, which causes a nightmare every year. But I thought this year, special birthday, let's plan a big Valentine's Day party. And I'm struggling a little bit because with not much longer to go, the only people who've replied for this surprise party are our single friends. So should I cancel the party? Should I keep going with the party? Is it going to be absolutely rubbish if it's just literally me, him, and about 6 people shouting surprise? Please help, give me some advice. I was really excited about the party. If not a party, what else? It's a big birthday. And I've had it booked for ages as well and told people ages ago. Some people are just rude. Anyway, I love the podcast and I can't wait to hear what your advice is going to be.
Rachel, yeah, it is rude. You've got to RSVP to people's invitations. I mean, listen, if I was you, I would just reach out to all the people that haven't replied yet and just say, look, so excited. Are you able to come? It's the big sort of 40th for him. He's going to be so happy to see everyone and just lay it on a bit thick and just try. People are very non-committal these days. People like to sort of not give you an answer until the very end, or people do that really annoying thing where they say they're going and then on the day of your party they go, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh yeah. Oh, like my son's got like a tickly throat and I've had to stay in with him all day, or something rubbish like that. So yeah, I think I would just, if I was you, I would reach out to everyone again, call them, call them. Yes, call them, get them on the phone so they hear your voice. You can hear their voice. None of this texting business because people are just a bit shady with texts. Call them and just be like, yeah, like I'd really, really like you to come. I think I don't know what your husband's called, but I think he would be so happy if he saw your faces there on that night. Because, you know, a 40th is a big deal. And it's funny for people that have birthdays that are also land on like a Christmas day or a Valentine's Day. It must be hard because they're always overshadowed by that day. Because everyone's like, well, it's Valentine's Day, or well, it's Christmas Day. It's like, yeah, but it's his birthday. And that's a biggie. So yeah, don't give up. Don't give up. Don't cancel. Keep going. See if you can get some more people to commit. And I think it'll be a brilliant night. And also, how lovely, because if you are a couple and you're thinking, what should we do on Valentine's Day? Well, you've got something there. You've got a gorgeous party to go to, and you can be all romantic with each other at the party. But yeah, keep going. I would. Good luck with it.
Dear Jill, this one is really embarrassing, but my boyfriend's parents caught us having sex. He'd assured me they were out for the day when they came home suddenly. I was half naked in the front room. Now his mum clearly hates the sight of me. My boyfriend claims that they're fine and have forgotten the whole thing, but I feel terribly embarrassed about visiting now. I'm 23. Should I have this out with them? How do I move on from this?
Yeah. We've all been there. Have you been there? Yeah, just been there. Oh, listen, right. All I can think of is if it was me and I walked in on my son. No one's doing anything wrong. They haven't done anything wrong. It's unfortunate that they didn't realise and they walked in the room and you thought they were going to be gone. But no one's been I think there's an idea that you've been disrespectful or you feel ashamed or you shouldn't have been doing it. When I think we're a bit uptight, aren't we, about sex in general here. And I would have a conversation. I know it's going to be really bum clenchy, but just say, listen, I feel really embarrassed. Like, can we just clear the air here? Like, you do know that I absolutely didn't think you were going to be in the house, and if I did think you were going to be around, I would never have done that. And I think sometimes that unspoken thing just hangs in the air so heavy that it's just easier to say, I'm embarrassed. And I've got a feeling that you feel slightly embarrassed as well. And you might have a laugh about it and then you can just let it go. But you shouldn't feel ashamed. You didn't do anything wrong. And I think most people have had that experience. I've had someone walk in on me. I've walked in on someone else. I've walked in on my sister years ago. And honestly, like, we just laugh about it now. I mean, what else can you do though, Emma? There's a point where you just have to go.
Just cringe for the rest of my life. And knowing that happened.
I don't really know what parents expect. Like, if you have a child and they have a partner and you think it's disrespectful for them to have sex in your house, then you have to then, to be fair, think it's disrespectful for them to have sex in their boyfriend's parents' house. So where do you want them to have sex? In an alleyway?
No.
Because that's literally, like, my brain's quite rational like that. So that's how I would think. I'd think, well, if someone I knew or a child of mine, if that was happening, I'd want them to be doing it in a place where they felt safe. That just seems like a very rational thought to me. Mm. But yeah.
Do you want to go into your story?
The one where I was walking in?
Yeah.
So I walked in on my sister a very, very, very long time ago. She was like 19 and it wasn't the aftermath. and it wasn't foreplay. It was the play.
Oh dear. Did you?
And
what-
I was like, wow. And they just sort of looked and were like, ooh. And we sort of all looked at each other. And then I just walked straight out of the room. And we just laugh about it now. We just laugh about it. I mean, again, it's like, it's just one of those, I don't know. I feel like it's happened to most of us at some point.
On the life bingo card,
It's one of those, isn't
yeah,
it? Now
gotta
to be
be.
ashamed of.
Nah,
Don't you worry your head about it. But yeah, let your boyfriend take the lead.
definitely.
Hi, Charlotte.
Hi, Jill. How are you?
I'm very good. Now, Charlotte, when we spoke last time, remind us what we were talking about again.
So I was just in a new relationship, and it was very much, I think I was the one that liked to have a regimented schedule, and he was very spontaneous. And I didn't know how to sort of pair that up, I think. That was the dilemma.
That was the dilemma, yeah. So,
Yeah.
big question. How's it going?
So actually, I feel like the tables have turned, Jill. I feel like I'm a little bit spontaneous and he's very regimented now. So I don't know what's going on, to be honest. It's just swap sides.
That's hilarious.
I don't know what it is. Honestly, it's hilarious. The fact that he's like, right, when are you seeing me? What day are you coming? Let me just know this.
Isn't that, do you know what though? You know, they say, right, that the only way to not get some, it's like the way to if you're unhappy about a dynamic that you have, you shouldn't try and change the other person. You should change your behavior towards them. So it's really interesting to me that you've changed your behavior, and the way he's reacted is more like, oh no, I need some structure in my life.
I know.
So what's up today then? How can we help you today?
Oh, God, what's not up, Jill? Honestly, just too much. I can't cope. I'm so dramatic. I'm really dramatic. So I just warn you. Oh, dear. So I've been in my relationship, I think, about 5 months now. And he makes me really happy. And I'm definitely in love with him. But we had a bit of a situation last week where I wanted to have sex with him, and he sort of was a little bit too tired and didn't want to. Because of past insecurities of how I've been treated in other relationships and also with family and friends as well, it really sent me into a spiral of he doesn't find me attractive anymore, he doesn't want me, doesn't, all of this. And I know that he still has that time to himself during the week where he, on his own. So it just makes me feel a little bit like, am I not worthy or good enough for you? And so that's the new dilemma. And I just feel like it's just past insecurities. It's took me a long time to love myself as a person, and I just don't want to creep back into that. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough.
You know what? I totally hear you. It's always so complex, isn't it? So the dynamics between two people, because listen, I don't know about you, and you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but my moods change quite a bit, and my sexual desire changes a bit, and some weeks it's way more up than it is down, and some weeks I'd be way more wanting to have sort of sexual contact than other weeks. So I suppose what I'm trying to say in a long-winded way is, could you are you like that?
I didn't realise that, because in past relationships I wasn't that much of a sexual person. Because I think of how men used to make me feel like an object, like I was just something that they, it was never, they just used to use me a lot. So that's why I've never really enjoyed it. And then when I met Jamie, who made me feel very, very, loved and appreciated, that's why I just feel like I'm quite, having sex with him, it makes me feel close to him, and it's got this more of a personal, deeper level. for me. But no, I do have times, of course, where I'm maybe not, but I haven't experienced that yet. I genuinely want to jump on him every day.
Yeah,
So
fair
I
enough.
don't.
Fair enough. But
Yeah,
you know what you said just then about being made to feel like an object. Jamie's
yeah,
Jamie's doing
maybe.
the
Yeah,
opposite of that by telling you how he feels. If he was
yeah,
treating you like an object and he did just think of you in that way, yeah, maybe it would be on the table all the time. But it sounds like Jamie's just saying, "Oh, like as much as I love you, I just don't want to have sex tonight." And if
no, and he
because
still
of
wants to feel close, and
yeah,
yeah,
and I think what's difficult, and I do understand this, is that you've attached that sexual desire and the way he makes you
yeah,
feel with
yeah,
a feeling of that's what love is and that's what makes me feel
yeah,
wanted. Whereas he's
yeah,
saying, no, I do want you, I do desire you, but I just don't feel in the mood. I mean, it can feel
yeah,
so personal. Like sexual
yeah,
rejection can feel so personal. And you go, I
yeah,
listen, I've been there. They don't fancy me. Oh my God, what have I done? Was it bad
yeah,
last time we did it? Have I said something? I mean, honestly, you can go on and on,
yeah,
but the simple fact might just be, just at that moment in time, you just didn't have much desire in that respect. So instead of feeling really insecure and going down a sort of a bit of a spiral with that, think, okay, well, actually, if I try and connect with them in a different way in that moment and try to emotionally connect with them or have a really lovely conversation with them and just sometimes just lying next to each other and stroking each other
yeah,
and just being together, and then
yeah,
that in turn makes, I think, the person feel so relaxed and so safe. And really, I think conversations about sex should never be out of bounds in a relationship, because
no,
I've had
no,
relationships in the past where you think, if I say that I'm not in the mood, this might things might turn into an argument. Oh well, I better just do it just and just to make sure that like the night goes all right. That's
yeah,
never where you want to be. It's just never where you
no,
want to be. That's not healthy. And it sounds to
no,
me like he was trying to be really open and honest with you. I really, really understand your reaction, but like
yeah,
I would lean into it even more. I would go, okay, he's been really honest with me, so I'm actually going to say, oh, thanks for being honest with me, and just snuggle
yeah.
up and just enjoy closeness in a different way.
Just enjoy his company in a different way. Yeah, I think it's because I'm not used to that feeling. I haven't had that for a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very much an introvert, and I'm very much an extrovert. So sometimes he'll emotionally distance himself, and he likes his own space. And then I can take that personal because he's like, I want to be on my own at the moment. And then I'm like, oh no, what have I done? So I just, I get take things quite personal at the moment, which I don't want to
Yeah.
put any stress on our relationship.
I think it's really common, isn't it, for two people to have, I mean, they call them like, your attachment style. But I think it's really, really
Yeah,
common to have an anxious attachment with an avoidant attachment. And
yeah,
the person who's anxious kind of moves towards the person who's avoidant, and the person who's avoidant's thinking, oh, they're getting right up in my face, so to speak. I'm going to sort of avoid even more. And I think that's why you have to just always bring the temperature down when you're feeling those type of feelings. If you think to yourself, right, I'm feeling rejected, but please just ask yourself, has he rejected me, or am I just feeling rejected? And they're two
yeah,
very, very different things. And if it's just
yeah,
you feeling rejected, just think, well, that's probably historical then. I could probably link that to something that's happened in my past or the way I've been
yeah,
treated in the past. If there ever
yeah,
is a problem where you literally feel rejected, or you think he's done something to make you feel like that, you can say, oh, Jamie, I didn't feel good, and can we talk about it? But I think it's always good to ask yourself in relationships, is that a reaction from another relationship that I've had? Because we all get
yeah,
into like these cycles of the way we react. And I do think it's important not to bring them into new relationships and say, I need this from you because of this. It's like, well, actually, that's probably just your work to do. And then you might be able to
yeah,
say to him, I know you're an introvert and I know you like your own space, but you know what I would really like? I'd like you to just check in a little bit more with me, just so I
Yeah,
feel
and
like a bit more
I
secure.
did. Yeah.
Just it sounds like you're both really in love and you're just literally finding your way with each other. That's all a relationship is,
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's all it is. Yeah, and it's still this is only his second relationship and also only my second
Right.
relationship, and we're both like 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So to us, we're still finding new things about relationships, because obviously I've never really focused about relationships that much because I've always been a very career driven gal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I've not had many relationships. So, and I'm just like, now I'm reaching at this age, I'm like 30, and I'm obviously wanting to find the one, as you supposedly call it. But yeah, so I think sometimes I just put too much pressure on myself in a relationship, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, I'm nearly 50 and I'm in a new relationship. So you don't have to put pressure on yourself to find
No,
the one, and or you just enjoy what you've got. Enjoy what
enjoy
you've
what you
got.
got, yeah.
Keep communicating and understand that
Yeah,
you both have different styles, and that's with any relationship, and you just come together and you just very calmly never have that conversation with them whilst you're still in the moment of feeling the rejection, because it'll come out all wrong.
yes,
Have the
yeah,
conversation with them when you've calmed down, you've realized what
yeah,
part of it is you, what part you're accountable for, and then come forward and say, right, I get that was me, but this part I would like to have a little bit more of whatever. Does that
I
make
agree.
sense?
Yes, thank you very much, Jill. I appreciate it.
When the next thing crops up, feel free to call, because I love speaking to you.
Oh, thank you, Jill. It'll probably be in 2 weeks, to be fair. So, honestly, we're just going to become friends, because I swear there'll just be a situation coming up.
Just do it. Just be like, oh, I'll just ring Jill.
I'll just ring Jill. Jill, you're going to become my relationship guru. I just got. She's going to, oh, go, it's that Charlotte again. Oh, no.
I love it. It's lovely to hear you, and yeah, I
Thank
hope
you.
it goes well. All right.
Yeah, chat soon.
Say Charlotte, bye.
Bye.
I love her.
She's great.
She's
She
so
is
good.
great.
And do you know what? That's such a common situation in any relationship, isn't it? There's a saying, right? Have you ever heard this? If it's hysterical, it's historical. Have you heard that?
Never.
Right. So that's the kind of feeling when, your partner does something, and the way I would describe it in my body, my shackles go up. I can feel, it's like Wolverine. Bang! And I'm like, oh my God. But like, obviously I'm not looking like that. I'm just kind of like pretending to be okay, but I can feel every hair on my body stand up. And that's when I know it's like, unless they've done something that was outrageous, which they haven't, it's like, that's coming from a different place, Jill. And so it's coming from a historical place where I've felt, hurt before, rejected before, triggered, frightened, scared, whatever. And then I've put it into the situation that's happening now. And all of these historical feelings are coming along with this situation. But the minute you can kind of separate them and go, what bit is really about this? 90% of it really goes away, and you go, oh yeah, I just didn't like the way you insert something there.
Sorry.
Yeah. And it's luckily for me now, as I've got older, I then find myself just not needing to say anything, because really when I think about it and I break it down, I think, I don't actually think there was a problem there. I think I just reacted to something, and I just think nothing needs to be said. Thank God for getting old.
didn't think you would say that.
Do you
today,
know what I
did
mean?
you?
No one wants Wolverine in a relationship, do they?
Definitely not. But like, it's so interesting, like the pressures you do put on yourself, whether, you're Charlotte who's 30, you who, like new relationships or new relationship, no matter what time or when you were
Completely.
16 to when you're 60.
Mhm.
But you put that pressure on to go, right, well, time's ticking, time's ticking.
Mhm.
What time's ticking, man?
I know. It's so true, and I think that 30 is an age, isn't it, where suddenly everybody feels like career-wise it should be starting to make real good sense at 30. Maybe weddings and families and babies, that would be the decade where things were happening or your friends were doing that. So I do think it can be a really hard decade if you're comparing a lot and you're looking around and thinking, well, everyone else is changing, but I still feel the same, as Keen said.
I like that.
So yeah, no pressure, because you never know what's around the corner, do you?
Never.
And you don't want to do things just because you're a certain. I'm 32 now. I should have this or have that. It's just whenever I've done that in my life, I look back and I think, I didn't need to do that. That was silly.
Although I do have a lot of weddings and that to go to, and I'm like, oh,
Do you?
God.
Don't.
No.
Right. Okay. Ready, listeners? Emma, do you like weddings?
No, I hate them. Why do you need a bit of paper to say you love somebody? We're not going into that at this time on the episode. My goodness. Extra content coming soon.
Just a whole podcast series on things Emma hates.
Everything? I don't.
You don't.
I'm
I know
really
you're
nice, actually. It's just, money making affairs.
Yes.
That's-
No, I get it.
That's the common theme. I mean, for anybody who, it's Valentine's Day, you maybe got plans, you maybe you don't have plans, you may be dreading it, you may be excited for it, especially like for people that are missing someone, and that could be their partner, that could be maybe a brother, a sister, a friend, because it's all about love at the end of the day. What advice would you give for maybe, experience the day, living the day, and just getting through the day?
Well, I know it can sound like a real cliche, but the better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. I do think that makes a lot of sense, and you can put that into any context. So, it can be a relationship. It's somebody that you're not with anymore, someone who's died. It could be a sibling that lives really far away and you just miss them so much. But there's a feeling of going, I miss them so much because I love them so much. How lucky am I that I've got someone in my life that I love that much, that it actually hurts when they're not there. And then, the practical things, you get on the phone, you make a plan, you talk about when you're going to see each other, or if they're not here anymore, you think about all the gorgeous things you did together. You think about all the amazing memories you've had, knowing, and this is the important bit, knowing that you can have that again. I don't believe in soulmates. I think there's hundreds of people out there for us. I think if there was just the one, how weird would it be that everybody just finds the one, just luckily? I just think there's so many different people out there who can make us happy. It's just whether you're open enough to allow a different love in, because every love is different, but they can all be as glorious as each other.
Nicely put. And
There you
yeah,
go.
soulmates aren't a thing. Another thing that
No.
I hate.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone, from all of us at Dear Jill. No matter what you're doing today, no matter who you're with, I just hope that you're doing something that you love and enjoy, and you're not alone.